utter perfection, one brittle, one supple, one moment, my dear. Just so little girl.
In order to play the role and to be chosen, they had to have all the different facets. Were they a good actor? Could they sing the part? Because a lot of the roles in this musical are very specific as far as whether or not you have a high voice soprano, middle voice alto, higher voice male tenor, or lower voice baritone. So because there isn't a lot of leeway for that, you had to have the right voice part, the acting ability, as well as the ability to be musical because the music itself is actually quite difficult.
Everyone tells tiny lies. What's important really is the size. Only 3 more tries and we'll have our prize. When the end's in sight, you'll realize when the end is right, it justifies the beats.
The next phase, the singers would not have much music going on, and they would just be running their lines and doing the action for the show.
So you got to be like, kind of like, mountains unscalable and all of this stuff, and it's horrible, and I'm in such agony, but I'm loving my agony so much because it's part of who I am.
6:45, we start warm-ups, vocal warm-ups, physical warm-ups. We stretch, we do some games, just kind of loosen up.
When does the wristwatch strap shop shut? When does the wristwatch strap shop shut? Important sounds there.
It's interpreted through the eyes of a young girl. Bea Larson played Emma, and she came on stage with angst, and all of the action came out of her mind. So as you're watching the musical, you're really watching, as far as the BVU production is concerned, a reality that exists in Bea's imagination.
They're riding on a horse. I'm so excited.
As a director, my job is to conceptualize a play and to do a thorough analysis on that script, to cast it, to bring actors into rehearsal, share my analysis with them, create a performance text that will tell that story to an audience.
It's an idea. I have to figure out if I can find a drink bottle that says "Got Milk" that you can just squeeze. That's good.
So Milky White, you need to scoot over here. And upstage by Jack. Okay? So you hand an object to Baker's wife. Baker's wife hands it to Jack. Jack gives it to Milky White. Milky White shoves it under her shirt. Okay? Milky White suddenly is brought back to life, is restored to life. That's in cue, so you have to make sure it's evident.
So am I on stage then?
You're just like, oh! And if you can go at the same time, you can go, click, hold. Now let go.
How do we let go? How long? Can you just tell me how long?
Being a director is a challenging enterprise because it requires a person who has imagination, who can have empathy for characters that are sometimes fictional, sometimes historical. It requires a person to have good communication skills, preferably good organization. I hope that as a director, most of the time I display those qualities.
You have to die like right here.
No, cut time. 1
Okay.
and 2.
And they're going to bury you here.
In my mind, I have an idea of what 100 sounds like.
In there.
But Sondheim, you
Then you'll be
always
able to
have
get through the
about
costume
20
shop.
All right.
Being directed by Bethany is definitely very interesting. She, at times, can be very strict about what she wants, and there are other times where she wants you to kind of figure it out for yourself. And she'll tell you whether or not she likes something, she'll tell you whether or not she wants you to keep doing something, or if she wants you to change it up. But she encourages you to explore your character and try to develop interesting thoughts or mannerisms behind your character.
Talk to each other before they happen so that everybody's ready to come on stage in a coordinated mass, do the work to change the scene as efficiently as possible, and then we move off stage. It is as much a part of the performance as anything else.
Technically, it is a rough show. Not only does the sound designer need to do all of the body mics, they have to mic everything in the pit. They have to have a way to converse back and forth with all of the different players around the theater. So it is a very technical show. It's challenging on all regards, but I'm waiting for an audience to be able to sit and see it happen and not even think twice about what they're watching. I always say that as a technician, if I do my job right, nobody knows I'm there. But if I do it wrong, they hunt for me with very big sticks.
However it works, whatever works, but just make sure when you hear the music cut off, that's your cue, then you can drop it. So it would have worked perfect, just make you aware of it. Let's just do, and starting at the measure 18, Baker's Wife, and what do you propose?
Every time I walk on set, I'm like, there needs to be trees in this play, and I like it this way. It's a very minimalistic style, and it seems to work. We made bread out of foam, so like our cinnamon rolls, they look real from out in the house. They're just foam, spray painted, and it looks real.
It begins with the makeup, which is rather extensive. For this show, we went beyond your basic stage makeup because Bethany wanted us to look a little more animated and really highlight characters. So I had white eyeshadow on with like a shadowed look, and then I had these like drawn on eyelashes that like extended out to here. And of course the signature red lipstick, and then the hair. I put my hair up in like 2 buns, which then we clipped on these, like each of them were 10 pounds, but these red pigtails, which weighed down quite a bit, and gave me a headache the first couple of rehearsals. My deepest hope is that audiences will come to the show, they will see the celebration of all these different character types, they will hear the message that no one is alone, and they will walk out feeling that somehow they can encounter their challenges in their own lives with a little more confidence. That the play will have built up their core belief in the world and in themselves. For the actors and the musicians and the people who are on the crew who are part of it, what I want them to own that message. They are all such beautiful, amazing, talented people that if I had one wish for them is that when they're finished with this show, they remember this as a moment that made them feel valued.
She climbs up, she turns around and sees you. Once upon a time?
Linda Young made it. It's meant and it's just a little bit, doesn't matter. So what matters is that everyone tells tiny lies. What's important really is the size on us. The light is clear, the light is good. I have no fear, nor no one should.
continued. And